All right, so recording has started. I'll start the presentation and then we will implement. Let me just start the Visual Studio. And here we go. All right, so today we'll talk about the standard libraries. If you remember, or for sure you remember, let me just plug the tab. All right, so in the previous programs, that when we start writing the programs, we used to write include IOStream, right? And I told you that this IOStream is a standard library that deals with input, output, and the very basic operations. But without this IOStream, the program will not work. Let's try it before we proceed. Here, if you can see, if I remove this include IOStream, I'll just make it as comment, then everything now will be, the compiler will identify a few things, but it cannot run. Let's build it. See, build finish with errors. Why? Because it doesn't know what cout is. It doesn't know what end line is. And let me just remove also this. Okay. Even if I want to use, for example, CN, also it will not recognize what CN is. So, including the library, this library deals with the input, output, and a few more things. Now, just let me remove the things from here. Actually, we have, see now, if you write cout, the first program, hi there, and end line, comma, and if we run it, it will run without any problem. Okay, now, even if you saw that, when I start writing here, ENDL, directly I got some suggestions from the compiler itself, because I already included the library that contains these keywords. So if I want, let me just try something. Or double. This is just to show you that I didn't get any suggestions when I start writing. I didn't get any suggestion for the. I got when I wrote POW. While if I include, for example, use include, I'll use another include math. All right, then. When I write POW, I got this suggestion POW. All right. So if the library is there, then when I start writing, I'll get suggestions for the here also. If I write, for example, sine, all right, cosine, all right, what exponential, all right. So without including this CMath, I will not get these suggestions. Now, this is just introduction. Let us get back to our discussion. So here, I have a lot of standard libraries that I can use based on according to my program. Like if I want to write a program that uses mathematics. And mathematics, I don't mean plus, minus, division, and etc. These arithmetics. Okay, but mathematics here, I'm talking about sine, cosine, log, ln, power, some other phrases maybe you didn't hear about them, like sine, shine we call it, cosine, etc., hyperbolic. So I have all the functions, exponential. I have all the functions that I use in mathematics, but without, I cannot use them directly unless I include the library. So let's see. C++ provide standard libraries that perform specific operations such as CMath, stdlib, actually this is cstdlib, iostream, etc. iostream, you are familiar with it. We have IO alone when I want to deal with files. I have assembly when I use I want to write assembly or assembly code. These libraries can be included in the program using this include instruction or clause. All right, so this is very easy. You've tried this before. You used include iostream. All right, and use it since the early days of this semester. Okay, CMath standard library. The first library is CMath standard library. We called it standard library because they are already written and compiled, and you don't need to do anything with them except including them in the program that you are writing and use them. This library includes mathematical functions that can be used to perform mathematical operations such as exponential, power, square root, sine, cosine, and many others. All right. For example, the power. The power is, for example, if I want to write like 2 to the power 5, okay? But here, I will show you when I will start writing the program, you can use double or float numbers. So here I will write it like POW of 2, 5. This means 2 to the power 5. If I can use any real number like 1.5, 2.3. That means I'm finding 1.5 to the power 2.3. All right. So here, if you can see, include iostream. Don't forget to include CMath, iostream for print, for C in, C out, etc. Using namespace. This is for to avoid using std every time. C out, C in. All right. Now I declared double x equal 5 and double y equal 2. I use it directly, and the program will recognize what the meaning, or will identify what the meaning of POW or power is. Okay. Of course, in the same way, you can use sine and cosine. We'll see them one by one. Write a program that reads a real number and prints its sign. You know the sign, right? Remember in mathematics? Here, for example, you have this theta. So sine theta equals this one divided by the by this one. All right. So if we call this y, x, z equal x divided by y. And cosine also, tan, we have cotan, secant, cosecant. All these trigonometric functions are available in CMath. So now we want to write a program that reads a real number and find its sign. So C out into real number, C in x, and y equals sine x, and the sign of x is y. All right. Let's see if okay. Write program that finds the result of the following equation. This is a mathematical equation. All right. Remember that. First, you have to learn how to write it in an appropriate way. And please focus with me now. X to the power 4, I write it like 2x to the power 4 POW of x comma 4. All right, plus I cannot write C2 sine 2x. I have to write 2 times sine 2 times x. This is one of the things that so many students are doing it mistakenly, like sine 2x. In programming, we don't write it like this. We write it like sine 2 times x. I don't have 2x. All right, plus cosine x divided by 2. So you can now manipulate, or you can evaluate this function using C++. C double x and y into real number and y equal power of x4 plus 2 times sine 2 times x plus cosine x over 2, and it will print the result. Before going to CSTD, let's take some more example. All right. So we will discuss only 2 libraries. The other libraries, if you understand these libraries, then everything will be easy. So let's here write. Remember that I have to write include, or I will not write it now, just to show you that it will be wrong if or error if I don't write it. So let me just put here the example. Write a program that reads the value of x and perform the following operations. All right. I didn't put the all the operations because one by one. Here I will read the variable double x. All right. See out. Message enter a value for x and semicolon and x. Now I read x. That's it. If I want to print it, I print it. Now, first one, find the square root of x. Okay, you know the square root. I will write double y, x and y also, so to make it easier. Y equals sqrt. See, I didn't get any suggestions, right? And I got error here. Let's see the error. Edit, include path, setting, etc. So I didn't get any suggestions, and remember again, I'll repeat it because it's very important. See, when I write sqrt, I didn't get any suggestions here, but here I have to include all right, which is C maths. Okay. Now, if I write sqr, see, I got a suggestions here. sqrt, sqrtf, sqr, etc. Also, when you open the parentheses, it will suggest the inputs. So here, if you can see, float sqrt of float x, or long double sqrt of long x, or double sqrt of double x, or this value. All right, I don't know why they have added here. So it might take double or long or float. Since I declare them as double, then I'll give the value of x and semicolon. Now, cout square root of x is y. Run it. No errors. Okay, so enter the value. Let's enter any value that we know. 36, for example. The square root of x is 6. All right. Now I entered an integer. Let's try with another number. Value of x 1.234. All right. The square root is 1.16, 11086, etc. All right. So this is the first one, which is the square root. Let's try another one. Find the sine, or find sine of x. The same thing. All what I do is just copy this and change it to sine. Right? That's it. Here, let's change it to be the sine. What are the things that find x to the power, raised to the power 7. Okay. So here also POW of x, comma, and 7. Okay. Here power of x to the power, the value of x to the power 7 is. Okay, so let's execute this and see the result. All right, value of x, give me any value like 2.5 or 2.5, all right? So the square root is 1.58111, etc. The signs, I don't know why since the sine of x is 0.59, etc. The value of x to the power 7 is 610, and so you can have any values, any how to say it, any operation that you need. I don't want you to memorize everything, because it's easy when you start writing. You just write the first letter and then you'll get the rest, like sin h. All right. See directly. I got the sin h. Tan. I got suggestions regarding the tan. Cotan. All right. I think no, arctan. They call it arctan. So arctan here. Okay. And any other operation, exponential, whatever. So this is the first library, which is the math library. Let me just share it with you. Okay, so you can copy it and execute it and see the result. All right, let's see the next library. The next library is cstdlib. cstdlib includes functions such as the random numbers, and you can, by the way, just to make it also easy for you, if you want to search for the library, just write the cstd lib. All right, header file in C++. Let's see. This is what we got. No, not this one. This is not that much useful. Yeah. See what we have here. ATOF, convert string to double. ATOI, convert string to integers. And so many functions, exit, quick exit, etc. If you can see here, C standard general utilities library. So cstdlib is standard general utilities library. And by the way, sometimes the libraries, when you call them, they are called header files. What the meaning of header files? That's why even in a program, when you get advanced in programming, you will see that the file extension is .h. So the header files or the standard library, cstdlib, the most commonly used function is the random number generator. Why random number generator? I think everybody knows that we need sometimes random numbers in many applications. Like you are using random number generators almost every day. When you get this OTP, in the past I used to give my students an example about the cards, the mobile recharge card. But now the OTP. Now, when you start a transaction, like paying something over the internet, then the bank sends you OTP, all right, which is one-time PIN, okay, or one-time password sometimes. The one-time password like 1743. This is a random number. Of course, why random? Because you are going to use it only once, and then it will be deleted from the system, and that's why it gives you like 1 minute. You have to enter this in 1 minute, or they give you this code is valid for 1 minute. Okay. To avoid any unauthorized access or unauthorized people to have access to this OTP. This OTP is generated randomly, right? The first letter, the second, the third, and the fourth letter is generated randomly. And sometimes even in like in Google account or in social media accounts, when you send forget password, they send you a code like 6. As I know, Google sends 6 letters, 6 characters. Sorry, not characters, numbers, like 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3. These should be random, not and should not be predictable. Because if they are predictable, then the hackers will be able to predict these numbers and access your account. So stdlib include a very important library, which is the random. Now, also here, see, I included only cstdlib because I'm not going to use here in this program any mathematical operations. Arithmetic is all right, but not mathematical. All right, so here I included cstdlib, integer x for integer x equals 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, x equal rand, R-A-N-D. Okay, this will generate random variable or random numbers and print x, which is the random variable. Here I put it inside a loop to print 5 random numbers. Of course, the numbers are, since they are integer, they might be from 0 to maximum integer. see what we have. Write program that represent throwing a dice. This keep it down. So let's first implement the random generator. All right. Here, write program that generate 5 random numbers. Okay. 5. It means I need to I don't know why I have error here. Okay. Okay. That means I need to have a counter to count 5 times, right? So integer x equals nothing, and 4 integer x equals 0. Remember the counter, I less than 5 and I plus plus. Okay. Here x equals rand. See, directly I got a suggestion that you are searching for random function. So it provided me with a suggestions, which is rand, of I'll keep it blank. But also, okay, here, blank. And I'll print it. See out x and dl. So I'll get random numbers. Ah, sorry, here I can't see why it's error. Integer I. Okay, terminal. Let's run it and see the result. Okay. These are the random numbers that we got. 41, 18,467, etc. 6,000. See, they are not predictable. You cannot predict them. But sometimes, by the way, this is a bit weak random generator because it doesn't have the appropriate algorithm. But it's all right. Now, in our application, we'll say, okay, it's perfect and it works perfectly. All right. Now, if I don't want the number to exceed a specific limit, like I want to generate, let's see the next question. Write program that presents throwing a dice 10 times and print the outputs. What's the meaning of throwing a dice? Throwing a dice, what do you call it? The dice. Right? This is the dice. So throwing the dice 10 times. But first, if I use the random directly, random will give me any number. Now the dice takes values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 only, right? So it's not possible to keep the random as is. It will give me very large number. How to limit this? By using the mod operation. So if I write, for example, now x equal rand of, it'll give me random number, but I want to change this random number to one of these numbers. I'll use x mod 6, but x mod 6 will give me 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So x mod 6 plus 1 will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if I want to use a specific numbers, I'll use this 1 plus rand of or random of mod 6. Okay, let's implement this and see the result. Okay, now it's required to have 10 times. Okay, run mod 6 before adding 1. Let's execute it without adding 1, just to show you that. Okay, well, we should add 1. Okay, so if you can see the results here, 5, 5, 4, 5, 6, 0. Is there a dice with 0? Of course, it's impossible. So according to our application, the result is not correct. What to do? Make it mode 7? No, of course not, because mode 7 will include 6. Yeah, all right, but it will start from 0 to 6. So that's why I added 1 here. Okay, so let's run. Okay, so now 6, 6, 5, 5, 6, 5, 1, 1, 5. It's random, all right? Let's execute it once again and remember this output. Just let's take it and see if we will get the same output. If we get the same output, that means the random generator is bad. Okay. Output, exactly the same output. 66556511. So that's why I told you it's not a reliable random generator, but it's useful in some cases. Why? Because if it generates the same random every time, then it is predictable. I can predict now the number. When I say the first number will be 6, the second number will be 6, and so on. If you can see here. 665. Every time I run it, I'll get the same random generator. That's why, of course, you need to use different algorithms. It's beyond the scope of this course. But let's have another example. All right. Now let's develop a game. How about it? Write a program that to this is continuously and stops. Okay, and stops when the sum of dices is 7. All right. So let's write. This is an easy game. Let's suppose that you are playing a game with your friends, with your family, and throw the dice continuously, and you put a condition that the winner. The winner who will get 7. That means 5, 2, 3, 4, 1, 6, and so on. Okay? But here, notice that I say it continuously. It means it will keep throwing the number is, or the number of times is not limited. So if I want a good there, I will remove this and put instead of it while true. This is continuously. Next, I have two dices. So I have x1 and x2. Or dice 1, let's give it a name, dice 1 and dice 2. Okay, so dice 1 is equal to 1 plus random, etc. And dice 2 will be the same. Okay. Now, see out, I'll print the value of the sum of the two dices. This is dice 1, this is dice 2. Okay, so here I have dice 1 plus dice 2. And also, now I want to stop the execution if according to the condition. Okay, and the condition is if the sum is 7, right? So if dice 1 plus dice 2, okay, let me put them inside. Okay. Dice 1 plus dice 2 equals 7. What will we use here? Break or continue? Of course, we should use break because it's continuous and stops when this condition happens. So break. I hope it will not go through an infinite loop. All right, let's run it. Okay. The first one is 12, 10, 11, 2, 8. 2, by the way, should have come from 1 plus 1. 8, 12, 6, 8, 5, etc. And then we got 7. Okay, so you can design any game with this dice. I will just copy it and share it with you. Okay, I'll give you another example, and I want you to try to solve it. First I'll share this with you. Share this lecture. If it's not shared. Okay, so okay, this is 8 standard libraries. All right, then I'll give you some examples now, or some exercises. I want you to work them. The first one is write program that reads a real number and finds the result of the equation. I'll give you the equation now. Y equals, let me just increase the size. Okay, y equals 2x to the power 1.2, 1.3, okay, plus 4 sine 3x minus minus 7x. This is your question. I want you now to implement it. Let me just share it as a picture with you. Now I want you to use the or to solve it, and you have like 5 minutes to give me or to share the result with me. In the chat. Yes, الأحد عندكم quiz. Okay. Yes, your classmate Anwar is asking, will there be a quiz on Sunday? Yes, there will be a quiz on Sunday. All right, I'm waiting for your answers. This is the question, and waiting for your answers. Okay, I'll stop recording to avoid having very long, unnecessary recordings. So, but I'm with you and waiting for your answers.